Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, you have the right to remain well entertained. What teen movie is the epitome of the older I get, the more I agree with the adult? Lilo and Stitch. My opinion of Nani changed entirely. I think it helps when you realize that she's literally a teenager 18 trying to prevent CPS taking away the only family she has left while working and trying to be a mother to a little sister who is a social outcast. Poop's rough. Kind of interesting for a Disney movie to present a very real and unpleasant reality like that one. I remember as a kid the threat of being taken away by CPS was very real and very potent, and the surrealism of seeing it reflected back in an age-appropriate children's fantasy movie. Dirty Dancing. The dad was completely justified in not wanting his teenage daughter to fraternize with a creepy adult male camp dance teacher. This movie is the reason why I asked this question. We did it, Reddit. We found the right answer. 10 things I hate about you. When the dad says you're 18, you don't know what you want. And you won't know what you want till you're 45, and even if you get it, you'll be too old to use it. At the start you think he's over the top and nuts. But then you learn his wife left him with 2 daughters, who are now going through high school, working a stressful job to care for them, and worried about them constantly. What if they leave me too? What if they get knocked up by a boy and I never see them again? Poor dude is stressed. He does ease up a bit at the end. It's hard for him to let his daughters make their own decisions, because he wants to keep them safe. And yes, they are young and most 18-year-olds don't know what they want, lol. In Dirty Dancing, Jerry Orbach just wanted a family summer vacation and instead learned entirely too much about his daughter's sex lives. Jerry Orbach also teaches an important life lesson to everyone. Near the end, he says, "When I'm wrong, I say I'm wrong, which if more people could do we'd be in a better place." He delivers that line so well, too. The moment really hits hard. It got me even when I was a little girl with no idea about the whole abortion thing. I always thought Penny was sick and the guy was just a terrible, cheap doctor. The principal and teacher in Mean Girls. They were just trying to do their damn jobs. Raise your hand if you've ever been victimized by Regina George. Literally everyone raises their hands. One of the teachers raises her hand. Mr. Mosby from Sweet Life, dude's got it rough. He's just trying to run a hotel, but these kids are hell-bent on sabotaging everything, and to make matters worse they live there, so it's daily occurrence. I raised my 2 daughters on Nick and Disney shows, so I never saw them as a kid. Almost all of the adults are just trying to do their jobs and live their lives, but these freaking kids are a giant pain in the butt. Took me a moment to realize you meant you never saw the shows as a kid and not that you never saw your kids. Winnie the Pooh. Rabbit was never against playtime, but can you just not do it in his house or garden, you little hellions? And Pooh is some frat boy who eats all of Rabbit's freaking honey. Rabbit hardly complains, oh my gosh. And then Pooh gets his fata stuck in the door, and the whole village or whatever has to help him. Is Pooh the fat honey equivalent of the town drunk? Just wandering into places, eating people's poop without thinking to ask, and then getting stuck in improbable ways. Not a movie but Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. When I was a kid I thought Uncle Phil was so mean. As an adult I'm like, I'd be fed up with all the antics too. Uncle Phil is the best TV dad. Gomez Addams is pretty awesome too. Passionately loves his wife for who she is as a person, encourages his children to follow their own path and supports them no matter what, cares deeply about his employees, maintains his own interests and indulges himself, never judges a book by its cover, welcomes the neighbors with open arms despite them being the other, throws banging parties for the whole family. I could go on. The Little Mermaid. Came here to say this. But I love him, Daddy. No. You're 16. You're not completely changing yourself for a boy you just met. Rewatching The Simpsons and realized I no longer relate to Bart. I'm a Homer now. I'm relating with Moe Szyslak more and more every year. I'm scared. Just rewatched a Goofy movie as an adult. Goofy just wanted to spend time with his kid. That was the whole conflict. Just go fishing with your dad, Max. You and Roxanne are breaking up before the sequel anyway. Rugrats. The parents were so young and just doing their best. I like it was a group of neighbors that were best friends too. I get really stressed out on their behalf now. Especially the one where Dee Dee just wants to make it home before her banana tree she bought died in the car but no one could get their poop together. Stu, what are you doing? Making chocolate pudding? It's 4 in the morning. Why on earth are you making chocolate pudding? Because I've lost control of my life. Mr. Wilson and Dennis the Menace. Seriously, frick that little miscreant and his parents that turn a blind eye to his shenanigans. Honestly, I never really felt like Dennis was a good kid at all. He was a little crap that stirred up trouble for Mr. Wilson and constantly tormented him. Like the menace is literally part of his name/title. Though I did find it funny, but that's kind of irrelevant to anyone being a good person or who I align with. Gene Wilder in original Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Stop, don't come back. I don't necessarily identify with him, but from the out I knew he was the good guy. Essentially he was a wrathful angel, smiting the wicked and rewarding the good, and Grandpa Joe, for some reason. The Lion King. Oh, I thought Zazu was just an old fun killer. What do you mean, Simba can't be king? Why would you prevent the kids from going where they want? As an adult and father, I'm 100% Team Zazu. Even as a kid I knew Zazu was the man. They only survived the hyena attack because he tattled to Mufasa. Not a movie, but that 70s show and Red Foreman. The older I get, the more I realize that teenagers really need a foot in their donkey. Eric was a lazy, entitled little poop half the time. Well, he is a boomer so. Not a movie but Malcolm in the Middle. I used to think Lois was a horrible mother who overreacted about everything. Now that I'm older I can see she is just an overworked working class mother with 5 terribly behaved boys. Lois and Malcolm working together at the Lucky Aid was the most holy crap episode in TV history. Malcolm thought it would be hell and he'd have his mother breathing down his neck and bossing him around for everything he did. Turns out she was his coworker / not his manager, and since it wasn't her job / she wasn't getting paid to breathe down his neck, her attitude was duck it. Craig is the manager. Malcolm can learn what it's like to be ordered around by an actual / real world retail manager. And then Malcolm basically turns into Lois, trying to make things more efficient and failing miserably, while Lois's attitude is it's just a run out the clock job. They don't pay us to make things more efficient, they pay us to follow orders, and it's way easier being a drone than the person in charge. It ends when the shift is over. Who cares? What would have been your answer or question? Leave it in the comments below. Slap that like and subscribe button for more, and check out the link in the video description for even more answers. Peace out, and catch you in the next video.